Oh, hello. Are you here looking for Tuesday Tales? Your host for this week, Mr. Tom, couldn't be here because I ate him all up. Sorry, folks. No Tuesday Tales this week. Bye now.
Hi everyone, I'm Mr. Tom. Welcome to Tuesday Tales. I hope you didn't think that getting eaten by a shark was going to stop me from telling you some stories this week. Not at all. I'm very excited to share with you some stories on this, our week of sharks. Before we get started, of course, we have to do our hello song. We'll do a little bit differently this week, so if you'd like, you can sing along with me. Hello friends, do 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 do. Hello friends, do 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 do. Hello friends, do 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 do. Hello friends. All right. So let us start with our first story. Today we are going to do a version of The Three Little Pigs, but this time it is called The Three Little Fish and the Big Bad Shark. You can see the ocean in the book here, ships, and the fish underneath. The Three Little Fish and the Big Bad Shark. And our story today is by Ken Geist and illustrated by Julia Gorton. All right. Now, once upon a time, there lived a mama fish and her three little fish, Jim, Tim, and Kim. "It is now time," said the mama, "for each of you to make a home in the deep blue sea." So off they went. The first little fish, named Jim, swam away and met a seahorse playing in some seaweed. "Can I have some of the seaweed so I can build a house?" "Take as much as you can carry," said the seahorse. So Jim gathered the seaweed and made a weedy little house. What do you think of that house? Would you want to live there if you were a fish? Well, Jim had just finished building his seaweed house when he heard the big, bad shark knocking at the door. Little fish, let me come in." The little fish trembled and replied, "Not by the skin of my finny fin. "Then I'll munch, and I'll crunch, and I'll smash your house in," roared the shark. So the big, bad shark munched, and he crunched, and he ate up every bit of the seaweed house. And Jim swam away just in time. Soon Jim found his brother. Tim said, "Don't worry, Jim. We fish stick together." Fish stick. Ha ha ha. Does anybody out there like fish sticks? "You can help me build a sandy little house. How many of you have been to the beach and made a sandcastle?" Well, Jim and Tim just started to relax in the sandy little house when the big, bad shark came knocking at the door. Little fish, let me come in." To which the brave little fish replied, "Not by the skin of my finny fin. "Then I'll munch, and I'll crunch, and I'll smash your house in," roared the shark. So, the big, bad shark munched and he crunched until he got a sandy mouthful, and the house crumbled. Jim and Tim swam and swam until they reached their sister, Kim. Kim was setting up her house in an old wooden ship. The big bad shark destroyed our houses. Don't worry, you can live with me, said Kim. And they did. And they're living with other fish, too. Look at all the fish there. The three little fish had just finished lunch when they heard the big, bad shark knocking at their door.
Little fish, let me come in.
To which the smart fish replied, not by the skin of my finny fin fin.
Then I'll munch, and I'll crunch, and I'll smash your house in, roared the shark.
The big, bad shark, he munched
And he crunched,
but he could not smash the house in. And all his teeth fell out. So the three little fish were safe at last, and the big bad shark, now without any teeth, was forced to eat a salad made out of seaweed. And that was the three little fish and the big bad shark. All right. All right, and now we're going to take some time to do a finger play, which means we get to play with our fingers. Today we're going to pretend that our hands are two little sharks. All right? And two little sharks swimming in the sea. One named Leo, one named Lee. Swim away, Leo. Swim away, Lee. Come back, Leo. Come back, Lee. Two little sharks swimming above the shells. One named Whisper and one named Yell. Swim away, Whisper. Swim away, Yell. Come back, Whisper. Come back, Yell. Two little sharks swimming down below. One named Fast and one named Slow. Swim away, Fast. Swim away, Slow. Come back, Fast. Come back, Slow. Two little sharks swimming around the pier. One named Far and one named Near. Swim away, Far. Swim away, Near. Come back, Far. Come back, Near. All right. And you can put your hands down and away, and we'll go on with our next story. So I have a question for you. Do you like sharks? Do any of you love sharks? If you love sharks, raise your hand. Okay, well, the name of our story is I Love Sharks Too. It is written by Leanne Shirtliff and illustrated by Lorenzo Montatore. I hope I said his name right. And it is I Love Sharks Too. Stevie loves sharks. He loves sharks more than he loves pizza. He loves sharks so much, he wishes he were one. You can see he's got pictures of sharks. He's got a poster that says, "Shark!" He's got shark toys. And he's reading a book that says, How to Act Like a Shark. And someone's voice is saying, "Stevie, can you please put that down? It's time for breakfast." Feeding frenzy. I'm hungrier than a shiver of sharks. Now, what's fun about animals is that different animals have different names for a group of them. And a group of sharks is called a shiver. Like, ooh. And here he is having his pancakes. Mom's saying, Stevie, will you please use a knife and fork? Bull sharks tear apart food with their teeth. And 50 rows of them. 50 rows of teeth. Stevie, will you quit squirming? Whale sharks can't stop moving. If they do, they'll die. Ew, Stevie, don't roll your eyes at me. But great white sharks roll their eyes when they're fighting. It protects their eyeballs from their enemies. Stevie, why are you in the recycling bin? Because angel sharks hide in the sand at the bottom of the ocean. Then they launch a surprise attack! Stevie, don't you even think about scaring me. I have eyes in the back of my head. No, you don't. But hammerhead sharks have eyes on the sides of their head. And what is Stevie doing now with the chair? Oh, Stevie, take that out of your mouth. And he says, tiger sharks eat everything. Stevie, did you eat your sister's cookie? Sand tiger sharks sometimes eat their sisters. Sometimes they eat their sisters while they're in their mommy's tummy. Stevie, what did you do with that tooth you lost? Sharks lose thousands of teeth. Cookie cutter sharks actually eat their own teeth. Nom, nom, nom. Would you like to eat your own teeth? Not me. Stevie, when was the last time you brushed your teeth? It's got spiders on it. Mako sharks, or mako sharks, don't have to brush their teeth because they're coated in fluoride. And fluoride is something that is in our toothpaste to help keep our teeth clean. So mako sharks already have that. It's like having toothpaste right in your own mouth. Stevie, have you listened to anything I've said all day? Mom looks very sad. Sharks only have inner ears. They don't have these kind of ears that stick out like us. They're on the inside. But reef sharks can still hear perfectly from miles away. They just won't answer. Stevie, it's bedtime. Turn off your light. Lantern sharks glow in the dark. No lights out for them. Mom says, good night, Stevie. I love you. Good night, Mom. I love sharks. I love sharks, too. She loves sharks because her son is basically a little shark. So, in the back of the book, it's got some facts after the story about sharks. We learned a lot about sharks already in this story, but there's even more to learn. Sharks can be faster than an Olympic sprinter. Olympic sprinters like Usain Bolt reach speeds of 27 miles per hour. But short-fin mako sharks would pass a runner easily, going as fast as 45 miles per hour. No early bedtime for them either. During the day, Fort Jackson sharks rest between rocks or in caves. Then they search for food all night. Cooler than unicorns. Goblin sharks have long, pointy snouts that look like horns and help them sense food. All right. And this one says, smaller than Dad's stinky feet. Dwarf lantern sharks are the smallest of sharks, growing to be only 8 inches long. The hide-and-seek champions. Megamouth sharks were first discovered in 1976 and have been seen fewer than 100 times. Sharks that crawl. Epaulet sharks use their pectoral fins to drag themselves along coral reefs and even sand. Older than grandma. Although the lifespan of most sharks is 20 to 30 years, spiny dogfish sharks can live up to 100 years old. Takes hours to brush their teeth. Frilled sharks have over 300 backward-facing teeth that are arranged in 25 rows. As cuddly as a cactus. Bramble sharks are covered with thorns, which explains why they aren't found in petting zoos. And slower than an ice cream truck. Greenland sharks barely reach speeds of 1 mile per hour. That's very slow for a shark. Scientists believe that living in icy water slows them down. Bigger than a bus. Whale sharks can grow up to 41 feet, longer than a city bus. They can weigh 47,000 pounds, more than twice the weight of an average school bus. And this one says, beware of sharks. But, oh, sharks is crossed out, and it's coconuts. Beware of coconuts. Because each year, falling coconuts kill more people than sharks do. And if there were a lot of people dying of coconuts, you probably would have heard about it. So, sharks are pretty safe for people. So, even me, I'm pretty safe right now. All right. I've got one more story. It's got a little bit of sharks in it. It's got sharks in the title, but it's also got some other animals in it. And I wanted to share that with you real quick. And let's see what you think about these. Now, we just learned about sharks and their teeth, right? Some of them have fluoride. Some of them have lots of rows of teeth. Some of them like to eat their own teeth. Well, because of that, we know, for different reasons, that you should never take a shark to the dentist. And other things not to do. And this one is written by Judy Barrett and with art by John Nickel. And this one says, never take a shark to the dentist. Now we already know that they don't really need a dentist, and also if you were a dentist, would you want to get too close to a shark's mouth? No. All right. Never sit next to a porcupine on the subway. What would happen if you sat next to a porcupine on the subway? Ouch. Because what do porcupines have all over them? Centipedes. Never go shopping for shoes with a centipede. It will take all day. Look at all the shoes that they need for all of their feet. Never knit a hat for a moose. It's really hard to make it fit. And is anybody having a picnic outside these days? Well, if you do, never invite an ant to your picnic. They will try to take all your stuff. Never take a giraffe to the movies. Now, unfortunately, we can't go to the movies right now, but if you were to go to the movies when it's safe, you wouldn't want to take a giraffe along. Just look at the screen there. It's hard for the rabbits to see the middle of the screen, and it's a little bit hard for the giraffe to see what's going on too, because their head is sticking up right through the roof. And they get to watch on TV instead. And never play checkers with a spider. That's if they get to move for every one of their legs that they have. Never share your lunch with a pig, because you won't be sharing anymore. Never play double dutch with a grasshopper. Where is the grasshopper in this picture? I see 2 beetles. Oh, there's the grasshopper. Grasshopper doesn't know how to come back down. Is too close to the jump ropes. never hold hands with a lobster. You can see all the animals around that tried it, and it didn't seem to go too well for them. And never take a goat to the library. As the librarian, please, please do not bring your goat to the library. Never give a moth a sweater for her birthday. Moths like to eat wool, so if the sweater is made of wool, you might eat it up. Now this one is weird for today because this one says never go to the bank with a raccoon. Why are they all holding up their hands like that? Well, maybe because the raccoon looks like it's wearing a mask over its eyes, they think it's a bank robber. But now, of course, a lot of us when we go out, we're all wearing masks over our faces. So it's hard to tell who's a bank robber just by looking at them. It's hard to tell a criminal just by looking at them. You have to wait till they actually commit a crime. But for all those things you should never do, you should always go shopping with a pelican. Because with those big beaks of theirs, the pouches, they can hold all the stuff. All right. And that was never take a shark to the dentist. And now let's say goodbye with our song, and we'll do it like we did the hello song. So we'll say, goodbye friends, do 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 do. Goodbye friends, do 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 do. Goodbye friends, do 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 do. Goodbye friends. And we will see you right back here next week for another Tuesday Tales. Bye everyone.